Have you ever looked at the person you're with and wondered, is this really what love is supposed to feel like? I'm not talking about those fleeting moments of doubt we all face. Those are normal. I'm talking about that deep gnawing feeling in your gut, the one you try to quiet, but it keeps showing up in the quietest hours. If that question has crossed your mind lately, you need to hear this. Because sometimes we stay too long in something that's slowly unraveling us, and walking away, as terrifying as it is, might just be the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for them. Before we dive in, I need you to do two things for me. First, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like if you've ever struggled to find clarity in love. Second, watch until the end, because what you hear today could reshape the way you approach love forever. Now let me tell you a story. The story of Emma and Daniel. Emma had been with Daniel for 6 years. On the outside, they looked like the perfect couple. They went on vacations, posted anniversary photos, and smiled through every holiday gathering. But behind closed doors, things were different. And the truth? Emma knew it for a while. It started small. A joke from Daniel that felt more like a jab. Her instinct said something wasn't right, but she brushed it off. He's just having a bad day, she'd tell herself. Then came the nights he wouldn't come home on time. The way he stopped listening when she spoke. How she felt lonelier sitting next to him than when she was completely alone. Emma stayed because 6 years is a long time to throw away. Because she hoped it was a phase. Because love, she thought, was about staying when things get hard. But not all hard things are worth enduring. And for Emma, it took hitting emotional rock bottom to finally realize this wasn't love anymore. It was attachment, fear, habit. Let's break down the 7 warning signs that, like Emma, might mean it's time to let go. Sign number 1, you're more anxious than at peace. When Emma was with Daniel, she felt like she was constantly walking on eggshells. She never knew what version of him she'd get. Would he be warm or cold and distant? She checked her phone constantly, worried if she said something wrong. Love should bring you calm. Even in storms, it should be your anchor, not your anxiety. If your relationship causes you more stress than serenity, that's not love. That's survival mode. Ask yourself, when was the last time this relationship made you feel safe? Because the foundation of love isn't butterflies, it's peace. Sign number 2, you can't be yourself anymore. Emma loved to paint. In the early years, Daniel encouraged her. But over time, his words changed. You still doing that hobby? You should be doing something useful. So she stopped painting. Piece by piece, Emma chipped away at who she was to keep the relationship going. Until one day, she looked in the mirror and didn't recognize herself. If you have to shrink to be loved, you're not being loved, you're being controlled. The right person will never make you feel too much, or not enough. They will stand in awe of your weirdness, your passions, your quirks. And if you have to hide them, you're hiding your truth. Sign number 3, you keep justifying their bad behavior. I know he yelled at me, but he was just stressed from work. Emma repeated that line so many times it became a script. She had excuses for every red flag, but deep down she knew, if a friend told her the same things, she'd tell them to leave. It's wild, isn't it? How easily we give others advice we won't take ourselves. So here's a hard truth. If you're constantly explaining why their actions are not that bad, you already know they're bad. Love isn't meant to be rationalized. It's meant to be felt. When you love someone, your first instinct should be warmth, not justification. Sign number 4, you've outgrown the relationship. This one hurts because it's not about betrayal or cruelty. It's about change. Emma started reading books on self-growth, going to therapy, healing old wounds. She started to glow from the inside out, but Daniel stayed the same. He didn't want to grow. In fact, he resented her for doing so. The gap between them widened. And soon they weren't partners, they were strangers with shared memories. Sometimes you don't leave because it's broken. You leave because you're evolving. And your soul knows it can't stretch any further within the limits of this love. Growth doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes it means choosing yourself even when your heart still whispers their name. Sign number 5, you're always the one trying. Emma noticed it first on a Sunday morning. She had planned a breakfast, bought his favorite croissants, and even set the table. Daniel didn't notice. Not just that day, but every day. She was the one planning dates, initiating conversations, fixing problems. Relationships are never 50-50 all the time, but over time, the energy should balance out. If you're always pouring and they're just sipping, you'll run dry. And then what? No one should be exhausted from trying to be loved. Love should be mutual, not a marathon of one. Sign number 6, you feel lonelier with them than without them. Loneliness in a relationship is a silent killer. Emma felt it every time she lay next to Daniel and he turned away. She missed the version of him that used to care. She missed the conversations, the connection. But she stayed, hoping it would return. And in doing so, she chose the ghost of a relationship over the reality of being alone. If you feel more isolated when you're with someone than when you're by yourself, that's your heart begging for something real. Being alone isn't the worst thing. Being unseen in the arms of someone you love, that's unbearable. Sign number 7, you no longer see a future together, and that scares you. There was a time Emma dreamed of marrying Daniel, kids, a home, a life. But that vision started to blur, then disappear. She couldn't imagine them growing old together. Couldn't picture their names written next to each other on anything permanent. But what scared her more? Starting over. So she stayed, out of fear. But here's what Emma learned. Staying in something that no longer fits your soul is a slow death. Letting go feels like ripping off skin, but it's how you make space for new life. The future should excite you, not haunt you. And if your heart whispers, this isn't it, listen. Don't wait for it to scream. Emma didn't leave overnight. It took months of self-reflection, a lot of tears, a lot of what-ifs. But one night she sat in silence and asked herself one question. If I met Daniel today, knowing what I know now, would I choose him? Her answer was no. That's when she knew it was over. And yes, it hurt terribly. But slowly, day by day, she came back to herself. Her smile returned. Her art came alive again. Her laugh wasn't forced. She realized, sometimes the bravest thing you'll ever do is walk away from what you once thought was forever. So if any part of Emma's story felt like your own, if you saw yourself in the shadows of those 7 signs, it's okay. You're not weak for staying. You're not broken for hoping. You're human. But now you know. And once you know, you can't unknow. The truth is, love isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to build you, inspire you, free you. If yours doesn't, let this be your sign. It's okay to let go. It's okay to start over. It's okay to choose peace over history. Because staying in something that drains you isn't loyalty, it's self-abandonment. And you, my friend, deserve a love that feels like home, not a cage. So if this video gave you clarity, insight, or even just a little bit of strength, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content that speaks to your soul. And please share this with someone who might need it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.